Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bianca Asia Saeed. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a holistic health and wellness coach, and I like to help stay-at-home moms to overcome the exhaustion and the feelings of being trapped in motherhood so they can actually enjoy their lives. I've been really struggling with this mindset I have lately. I've been trying to figure out what was causing me to be bored, actually. I've been feeling kind of bored at home, even with my daughter or, when she's napping or anything, and I'm just feeling kind of bored. And I started to think about, like, okay, what could I do that would make me feel more fulfilled, make me feel more purposeful and productive and like alive. And I was just thinking about how I have been at home with my daughter for 2.5 years. Um, and, you know, she's older now, so it's a change in season of my life. And I really feel like I have been obsessing about being a good mom. And it has completely, I had allowed it to completely take over every facet of my life because I I was so stressed out about being a good quality mom that I wasn't taking care of myself. Like I wasn't doing the things that I like to do. I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do. And I was just kind of like putting all of my purpose into mothering. And don't get me wrong, mothering is the biggest job you can do on the planet. It's a huge challenge and it's so important. But when you become a mom, you're not supposed to cease everything else. And I feel like that is kind of implied in our culture. It's implied that being a good mom means being all sacrificing and allowing motherhood to completely consume you and to be happy and self-righteous about it. And I feel like that's how good moms are portrayed. And I just don't think I mean, intuitively, that doesn't make sense because there's no balance, there's no natural flow to things. There's just one thing over and over again, and that's just like insanity. And if you look at some specific verses in the Bible, it's Matthew 7:13-14, and in the Quran, it is, let me just check because I want to make sure I'm giving you the right verses. In the Quran, it is chapter 2, verse 143, and chapter 6, verse 153. And they all talk about the narrow, straight, middle path. And when you think about that in terms of motherhood, it's like, I'm not in the middle. I'm not on the straight and narrow, right? Like I'm not balanced. I'm all the way over here. And in some cases, maybe you're all the way over here. But I think if you're on my channel, you're probably more on the obsessing about mothering versus not ignoring, but avoiding a lot of the motherhood responsibilities. Because my clients and my audience tends to be a little more sensitive, a little more feelings oriented, and tend to want to overachieve when it comes to parenthood. So I don't believe that we were meant to be obsessive mothers. Balance and the middle path and moderation is talked about extensively in the Bible and the Quran. So we know from God that we are supposed to choose the middle way, that we are supposed to moderate. And when we are obsessing about being good mothers and it's all we do in this modern society, that's not balance. That's not the middle way, and that's not moderation. That is radical obsession. And I think it's important to recognize that in this modern day, in our society, when we become mothers, we all but sacrifice our personal individual identities at the altar of motherhood. And we just become these self-sacrificing, like indentured servants. And it's upsetting because most of us don't realize that we're even doing that, or that we even made that bargain, um, which was not a good deal, by the way. Um, so I just want to stress to everybody that you do not have to sacrifice everything to be a good mother. In fact, to the contrary, when you develop your passions, when you develop your interests and your skills and your talents, you will be that much more of a great mom, because you are developing what God gave you naturally. You are developing those skills and talents, and you are doing all things in moderation, just like you're supposed to. So I think it's easy to get lost because motherhood is such a noble cause. It's easy to hide behind this sort of shield of honor and nobility, right? Like, well, I'm sacrificing myself for my children, and there's this air of self-righteousness about it. And I don't think that most moms do that so that they can be like, wow, look at what great of a person I am. I believe that most modern moms do it because they think that that's the only way to be a good mom. And that's why I think it's so important that we start talking about there's not one way, and there is not, and the radical obsessive way is not a successful way to take. I mean, what do you guys think? I'd love to know. Leave me some comments. If you go over to motherhoodempowermentcoach.com and you click on the yellow button in the middle of my homepage, it's a quiz, and it will tell you what your mom personality is, so that you can see certain things about your personality that clash with your family, and the things that sabotage you into actually defeating yourself. So go take the quiz. Let me know what you are. I'm a mama bear. Yeah, naturally I'm a mama bear. So let me know what you get, and until next time.